It was Easter weekend, and Matt Dalton was looking striker to a overnight out in Leeds in 4 persons friends. Matt, 20, lives in New Farnley, fair external the town. His friends were behind of college. But the overnight didn't precisely begin in a explosion. At 11 p.m., they got a cab in the town centre and tested receive in a pub. They weren't drunken, they weren't riotous, and, says Matt, we don't see the roughest. In spite how, they weren't permitted in. Reason. Since they were men. This doorman fair told, no this evening lads, says Matt, an IT disciple. We were love, which? And he told, down there's 2 lot lads. Thou're not upcoming to. They tested a other pub, and were said the identical. A tertiary bar reiterated the communication, no girls, no accession. Matt was frustrated, but not amazed. We are happy if we go out in city and don't get rotated off of sometime, says Matt. So he is utilized to creature prohibited of stick, but he doesn't believe he's order. He's absurd, he says. If you see at the determination of discrimination, he's treat who otherwise on the base of year, sex, racing, or everything. In the history, he's been permitted. But he's 2018. Discrimination is undertaken very severely. I believe he's period to issue why the is event. At Yuletide, Haystack McLean, 30, took 4 persons of his friends of London to his household town of Leeds. They went to the public house, went to the soccer, later led to the town centre. The at first bar they tested, they were rotated off, no groups of lads this evening. They tested a other bar and were as well discarded. Ultimately, following hard a tertiary pub, their overnight out was permitted to go on. It is a shape of discrimination, says Haystack. He's a powerful speech to utilize, but which distinction does it do if you go in girls? If whose departure to reason anxiety, their departure to reason anxiety. Peter Brock is of the Netherlands but teaching in Birmingham. He and his man friends include been rotated off of stick too much lot times to recall. It has happened if I'm fair in one man companion, and he's the worst if down there are 3 or 4 persons folks, he says. I never skilled thee in the Netherlands, so I don't know why he's so prevailing there. Gender Wade, 37 and of Bradford, has as well been rotated off of stick in men-only groups. He, although, has a various prospect, he has treated as a doorman. Gender is a turnover execution, but treated as a doorman in London 10 years back. He admits how doorman, oneself turned on, would frequently rotate off groups of men, but not female. At the end of the date, you don't wish to get implicated in anxiety, he says. If you job on the doors, down there are not lot of thou. I've had it up, while 2 big groups of lads begin fight, down there's not lot you can do if they rotate on thou. Thou got to use judgment work on the doorway. Occasionally he's order, occasionally he's incorrect. And occasionally it is fair to lively. Peter Milmine, as well 37, consumable 15 year on the doors in Bristol, of work recital in pubs, to fleeing a crew of 25 safety personnel in a nightclub. He didn't rotate off customers since of their sort, I would quite include a clubhouse complete of pleasant men who win struggle, rather than a blended team who will, but admits it does occur on a nighttime base. Rather frequently, groups of 4 persons or more than would be in link for receive rotated off, fair since they're a team of folks, he says. Peter says bouncers are frequently enhancing orders of the clubhouse's owners, who choose an equivalent mix of men and female. He thinks more than learning would assist, but he does include several affection for bouncers. While thou work on the front line doorway, you could include 1,000 human beings go on, he says. Thou include a really little box of prospect to do a judgment on if how men is appropriate. Mark Nuttall, of Sheffield, has been a porter to lot year. He says bouncers occasionally halt groups of men if down there's a opportunity of soccer-related abuse. I can see why it might be recognized as discriminate, and he's a awkward and deep incomplete instrument, he says. Yet he's efficient at compliance against social behavior to a minimal. So it might be efficient. But is it legislative? The act protects consumer, as workers and some groups. So our stick break the act? Yet, down there is a probable defense for bar owners and their doorway personnel, how their actions did not sum to discrimination but were instead of a proportional tool of reaching a legal purpose. Tell they had a bar in a power of 200, says Ms. Chadwick. If 180 of the human beings in the bar are men, and they've got 3 safety guard, down there's capacity for them to claim how this doorman may be surpassed, how could put the public health and security of the personnel, and some patrons, at hazard. Though so, our stick how rotate off men, since of their sort one, on precarious legislative land? Affirmative they are, since at person importance they're substantially picky versus males out of fair reason, says Ms. Chadwick. For currently, although, Matt Dalton and his friends are hardly to get in legislative reason in the bouncers in Leeds. They wint ye love a loading of uni students expressive them they're incorrect, he says. Down there's anything you can do, very, separately of put yours chief downward and go sometime else.